Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this live emergency DLLS Stars podcast alongside Craig Ludwig, Sam Nestler, Sean Shapiro. I'm Owen Newkirk, and a huge thank you to our answer at any moment regional production head. I don't know if I got the title right. Katya Vialba helping us because Ryan, who our normal producer, Ryan Vider, is unavailable for this quick emergency pod. So we're thrilled that Kat could step in so capably. And we usually go off on Revolutionary War canon. Yeah.
There you go.
He's ready already. Detours whenever Kat's producing. So get ready. Let's have some fun. The reason for this emergency pod, if you haven't already looked at the title, is that we now know the opponent for the Dallas Stars for the 2027 Navy Federal Credit Union Stadium Series outdoor game. Sean would prefer I put outdoor in quotation marks, as the Dallas Stars will host at AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys, the Vegas Golden Knights. Luds, let's go to you first. We'll go right down the row. We'll go Luds, Sam, Sean. What's your instant reaction, if any, to the Stars playing the Golden Knights at Jerry World, a.k.a. the Death Star, in a year from this February?
Severely disappointed.
Why?
I was hoping the game would be in Las Vegas because we are scheduled to do a show in Las Vegas. I just thought that would be appropriate. But it's nice to know that it's here because I'm sure GM Ben is already on it, and we'll have a DLLS suite that we will be doing a live broadcast from. I'm sure we do the drive-bys all the time. This is a no-brainer. Like,
I think we should start with a tailgate outside of AT&T Stadium. With,
the week before.
With all the shows. I think we should drag all of them out there, including the Cowboys show. They should be there for that. They should be
What's the date on this game again?
February 20th, 2027. So
Okay.
about 13 months away.
We'll start our tailgate party on the 13th.
Yes. Luds is going to be lubed up and ready to go by then. Sam, Vegas. Surprised, excited, thoughts on the opponent?
Yeah, a little surprised, and I'm with Luds, a little disappointed. I know there's some hate between the two teams, between the two fan bases specifically, after the whole Mark Stone situation and the Vegas series and the playoffs. But I think for whatever reason, it doesn't feel like a rivalry as much as even Nashville was right off that big, playoff series. And that really felt kind of like a big one. For me, I think there were other ways to go about it. I know Colorado's already playing one, but I think
Sam, it will feel like a rivalry after we play them in the conference finals this year.
See, they're already predicting it. That's what
You
it is
heard
about.
it here.
I think that it'll grow, and now that they know, that rivalry should grow with that coming in their minds. But I was a little more excited for a couple other opponents.
Sean, where's you on this? Are you excited, or are you like Sam? Were you wishing? To me, as soon as they announced that the Avalanche were going to play the Utah Mammoth at the University of Utah, I believe that's, or Utah, yeah, for the outdoor game next year, I knew it wasn't going to be the Avalanche because I feel like the Avs were the number one choice.
Yeah, the Avalanche would have made the most sense for this game, but obviously, I think them in Colorado, them in Utah makes a ton of sense for the Winter Classic. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with Sam here. To me, Vegas, outside of Colorado, Vegas has been the Stars' second biggest rival of the past 5 to 7 years. These are two franchises that we go back to. The first ever game for Vegas Golden Knights in franchise history was a game in Dallas in 2017, a 2-1 game, ironically enough, with former Dallas Star James Neal scoring both goals in a 2-1 game. They've met in the playoffs with big games on the line, not just in the past couple of years.
Three times.
Go back to that. So, and you add in some of the history of the, just the way that some of the jostling in the Western Conference has gone over the past couple of years, with Colorado being unavailable. Who are the two biggest? Who have been the biggest power players in the West over the past 4 to 5 years? It's the Stars, Vegas, and the Edmonton Oilers, obviously, over the past 4 to 5 years. So, to me, this is I think it's I think it's a good fit. Obviously, once Colorado wasn't available, then Vegas makes a ton of sense to me. Obviously, you add some of the natural Mark Stone, Miro Heiskanen stuff in there as well. And I think there's also a nice element of you want these games. I think it's important for these. While Colorado would have had the divisional element, I think there's something about these games where, for lack of a better word, I think it's good to go and get someone other than the Minnesota Wild. And I'm going to preface this for a reason, because I think it was.
I think we all knew that wasn't going to happen. Although you're right, Sean, from a division standpoint, that's what made the Winter Classic great, was Stars and Preds. It was a division game. Yeah. They were really fortuitous to have met in the playoffs in the half a season before that, so that it added to that rivalry. But we all know that as much as Minnesota's on the rise, and they are going to be, I mean, we're probably going to see them in a playoff series in April. It wasn't going to be the Wild, was it?
Well, and also, I mean, so the year the Wild did the Stadium Series game, which I believe was at the University of Minnesota Stadium, the original push from the NHL was actually for it to be Stars Wild then. It was supposed to be a bit of a throwback, and that was actually
would have been a perfect matchup.
And the Wild were actually, from my understanding and reporting at the time, the Wild were actually the team that pushed to say, hey, we'd rather play the Chicago Blackhawks. And so if you want to go blame the Wild, or another reason we had an additional 15 Chicago Blackhawk outdoor games. So that's, I'm okay with any of that. I also, it was interesting. I texted with Stars president Brad Alberts earlier this afternoon, just to kind of make sure I had this right on this. When it comes to opponent picking, it's a bit of a collaboration between the two sides. It's important to know this is a league event, so the league has final say, but the team does get gets the chance to make their pitch and kind of bring things up. So I think it fits well. So I don't know if Lutz
the chair recognizes the distinguished gentleman from Wisconsin who has his hand raised.
Well, I'm more of a Green Bay Packer fan, as you know. How many wins did the Cowboys have at home this past season? What was their home record?
I don't think it was really very good.
I don't think. Did they win a game at home?
Yes, they definitely won home games for sure.
Did they? I don't know.
Oh yeah. I can't tell if he's trying to look it up or not, but I'm positive.
I'm just curious.
4-3 at home, according to Cat. They won 4 games. So,
was it just me, or did Luds just freeze?
Luds froze.
Okay, that's a first.
Yeah, they were 4-3-1. They actually tied as well.
Well, I guess apparently, am I the only one cutting out here, or are you guys cutting out? Am I?
No, it's you.
I was the only one.
Yeah.
I got a feeling Jerry was listening to my question.
he didn't like you guys tying with the Packers.
Oh, okay. All right.
But this is an interesting discussion point, Sam, because one of the things that you and I had talked about was the jersey design possibility of having an opponent in the NFC East for the NFL, right? There's the Winter Classic look right there. It was they knocked that one out of the park. We were just the two of us saying, hey, if they play Philadelphia, it could be the Cowboys, Stars could have Cowboys style jerseys and the Flyers could look like the Eagles, or you could do the Washington Capitals and have the Commanders look, or, pick a New York team and have them look like the Giants. Other than that, to me, Vegas is, like Sean said, the second best option behind Colorado.
Yeah, I think the reason I like that so much is drawing in the Cowboys Stadium aspect. Like I think looking at the Tampa Bay Stadium Series this weekend, they have the treasure maps and they have all the stuff going really into the Buccaneers theme. I just don't know how you tie in Cowboys and all that other stuff when you're not playing a team that's, a rival or any of that stuff. But I did see a comment in the chat here about how Vegas is a big name that could draw football fans to this game as well. I don't think that's necessarily the biggest thing that the NHL is trying to do here. But if you play the Edmonton Oilers or something, you're not getting any football fans coming to see an Edmonton team. I think someone said they're not even going to know what an Edmonton is. But I think
Yeah,
that
Sam? Are you sleeping on the Edmonton? Are they the Elks or the Eskimos now? I know the team changed name back
I
and
believe
forth.
they're
Oh,
the
I don't know.
Elks. They're the
Elks,
Elks
yeah.
now. Yes.
Yeah.
You don't think you're going to see
American
Edmonton Elks fans?
American
Come on,
football
Sam.
fans. American football fans.
What about the Raiders?
Long live the
Is there-
Rouge. Long live
Is
the
there a
Rouge.
chance that we have a Raiders Cowboys look?
That could be cool. Is that any sort of a rivalry? I know it would be cool to see either way with a silver. I think Vegas has chrome helmets. I don't know how they'd be able to do silver, but I just love something football would be cool. And that's coming from someone who couldn't care less about the NFL. I think that having something with the Cowboys theme, maybe Stars have some blue in there. I like the idea of bringing that in and tying it together. So it's not just this is where it's played, but this is everything else.
For some history here, guys, the Stars have played the Golden Knights 3 times in the playoffs. The first was in the bubble 2020 Edmonton Western Conference Final, where Denis Gurianov scored that very now iconic overtime goal to send Pete DeBoer and the Golden Knights home from the quarantine. And then they went on and lost in the final to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Then, of course, they met in 2023 in the conference final. The Stars had made it there, really looking good, and they lost to Vegas in 6 games. Remember, Jamie Benn got ejected in game 3 and then suspended for going after Mark Stone. They basically lost game 3 because of it, and then rallied and hung on, and then lost in 6. Then the year later, they get Vegas in the first round, and they beat them in 7 games in a wildly fun series where they lost the first 2 games at home, won the next 2 in Vegas, including Wyatt Johnson scoring an overtime goal. And then Radek Faksa scored the deciding goal in game 7 in Dallas. And I think the only reason there's a little muted enthusiasm about the Golden Knights in general is the Stars are playing them tonight. I'm sure that the league decided that the announcement would be today because it ties in with the first game. They haven't played Vegas for a year. It's literally a year and a day since their last regular season meeting. And so that's the only reason why this rivalry has cooled is they haven't played each other in a calendar year.
What would have been I kind of go down this angle too, because I want to hear all thoughts on this. You talked about like the Cowboys and the NFC East tie-in. Sam, just because you said there's other, like, was it just pulling from a Flyers or a New York Giants type deal, or was there some other Western Conference team for you that would have been, hey, this is one I would want to pull in? I'm just kind of curious, just to kind of hear what was coming to mind. So
no, the only one for me, these are random, but the ones for me were Giants and Eagles, and Eagles was way above. Cowboys, great rivalry. I think the uniforms would look really cool clashing. That's obviously a big part of it as well. They had the color rush of green and blue. The other one that's kind of random is the teams that always play on Thanksgiving, which is Cowboys, Lions, which could be Stars, Red Wings, which
the way the Red Wings are up and coming, that would have been.
So like those are the ones I just wanted to tie in. It doesn't necessarily impact the actual NHL team necessarily. It's more of a rivalry in the football side, but I don't know if that's the right decision. That's just what I thought they would go to.
And I kind of like the fact they went with Vegas because it's not a retread of a team that's played 100 outdoor games. Vegas has played twice.
0-2.
They're 0-2. They've lost both. One was with no fans against Colorado at Lake Tahoe. And then it was last year they lost to Seattle. They got shut out in that game up in Seattle. So I think generally this is a good thing. And, you know, Sean, you've complained about outdoor in quotation marks. They've insisted that at least the roof – they planned a roof and maybe even some windows to be open to try to make it as airy of a dome stadium as they can.
I mean, I can open my window right now and let in 6-degree weather right now, right here, if we want it.
And it would be pretty cold, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's going to be a big event. It's going to be a fun event. It's the whole, it's the comparison's the thief of joy here, right? Like nothing's going to top the Cotton Bowl, the iconic,
and they shouldn't try, right? This should be its own.
And that's the whole. I would have like I don't know if my fear, like I think this franchise between what the Stars have done and pulling into Cowboys season ticket holders and everything like that, I think they'll definitely get the building filled. But for me, this is. I would have gone outside the box and gone to SMU on this one. Like I still go back to the spot of where the game's being played. I think this is talk a lot about the Stars and being this they're the Dallas Stars and all that stuff. For me, it would have been, that's just kind of where I go on that, where how many times do you watch a Cowboys broadcast and you get 45 and you get 10 minutes of talking about the art within Jerry World? Like, I mean, it's almost like a play a bingo game. If you watch a Cowboys broadcast, at some point they will talk about the art in the stadium. So I like outdoor games in places that have a little bit more, the air is open. There's not a big television above their heads. Like, that's just kind of what I like in my outdoor.
All right, guys, hold that thought, because Luds, I'm coming back to you up to talk about Jerry Jones next here on the DLLS Emergency Pod. All right, let's talk about Wild Fork Foods, because I'm so excited for people that haven't already. We have a DLLS Stars takeover coming up on Saturday night where they're coming into our studio for Stars and Mavs broadcast, and Wild Fork Meat and Seafood Market is catering the event. So everybody that is attending will get to experience Wild Fork like they haven't before if they don't know anything about it, and it's going to be delicious. Wild Fork has incredible options for meat, seafood. I'm talking about regular as well as sort of the more strange offerings, maybe stuff that you don't typically eat. And they also have side dishes, breads, desserts. It's a one-stop shop for your entire meal. And because they blast freeze everything stays completely fresh, believe it or not. So if you buy something from a store and then bring it home and then it's about to expire and you throw it in the freezer, it's not going to be as fresh as the way you deal with Wild Fork. And they have the best experience. They have so many helpful people that can explain to you how to properly defrost, how to cook, prep. Oh, amazing. Can't wait. 9 area DFW locations. Check them out at wildforkfoods.com. This emergency pod is also brought to you by Prize Picks, where being right can get you paid. And Prize Picks is so much fun to play because not only is it easy, because all you do is pick more or less than at least 2 player stats, 2 to 6, but they also give you options, meaning you can go for the full on, I'm going to get my 6 out of 6 right, and it's going to really cash in, or have a little flexibility. Maybe I get 5 out of 6 right, and I still get paid even if I get 1 wrong. So that's an easy thing to do. Once you do with Prize Picks, you can also do that nobody else does is the stacks. You can pick the same player play different stats for the same player up to 3 different times in your same lineup. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code DLLS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code DLLS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right. Now, because I wanted to get through that, we could have tried to end it really quickly and not have to do ads. I want to go to Luds here. Let's see if Luds' Wi-Fi is treating him a little better now, because Luds, you've been around Dallas for a really long time. You remember you were here as a player during the heyday of the Cowboys in the 90s when they won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. You've experienced the triplets, Jerry Jones, the showman, the businessman that he is. So knowing all the experience, the interactions, everything you've seen with Jerry and the Dallas Cowboys and the brand that they've become. They were a brand even before he bought them, but they have, vaulted into the most valuable sports franchise in the world. I can't imagine that the NHL and Jerry aren't going to lean into that. And Sean mentioned, well, they'll probably draw a crowd. I'm thinking they're going for a sellout, 100,000+. And if they leaned into the State Fair of Texas theme when they had at the Cotton Bowl at Fair Park with the Nashville Predators and the Stars for the Winter Classic, I'm guessing glitzy, shiny AT&T Stadium, Jerry World, and everything that entails is going to be a part of this game.
Well, I think as soon as you hear Cowboy Stadium, that's what's going to happen. He's going to want to blow this thing and be part of it. That makes it one of the biggest events in the NHL history on that side of things. But when you talk about Jerry being a wheeler dealer, and yeah, you're right. Like when we first got here, we were fortunate enough to spend some time at Cowboys Cafe, if anybody's heard of that, and I got to rub elbows with some of the, some Hall of Famer guys there. And I was thinking right away when Ben gets our suite out there for this game, is I'm thinking about giving Charles Haley a call and having him be one of our guests on on our show that we do out there. But when you talk about wheeler dealers, who's a wheeler dealer in the NHL that always seems to pull? What club always seems to pull something off?
It's the Vegas Golden Knights
Vegas.
every
Vegas.
time. Mitch Marner, Jack
Wouldn't it
Eichel,
be something-
Rasmus
wouldn't it be
Anderson this
something
year.
That if Kelly McCrimmon has a way, and all of a sudden between now and summertime or something like that, where Jason Robertson is making a comeback to Jerry World wearing a Vegas
no.
jersey. Oh,
No
talk about
way.
making a splash
Brutal.
in Vegas.
Oh, you just gave a whole bunch of Stars fans heart attacks, Luds.
Yeah, I know. I'm concerned, and so this might be leverage for Robo saying, "Hey, get me done," or yeah. But I do think when you guys are talking about the Cowboy, the jerseys, and all that kind of stuff, it never even crossed my mind. I never even thought about it. I was strictly thinking about Jack Eichel, Marner, Stone being the villain coming into here. I think strictly hockey and. The jersey thing, yeah, I get that, and obviously they're always going to become a big seller and things like that. So it's obviously important for the money side of things. But I just think strictly of a team that I believe that there's fans here have a bit of a hatred for. That probably doesn't sound right, but it's a team that, as you said, they won a couple, 3 times. They won a couple of those, and the Jamie Benn thing. So, and I do think that city, even though a lot of their fans aren't necessarily all local that they have there, I think they travel well. I think that they're probably already buying tickets to come here. And so there should be pretty good security up there for that game.
I will say on the Cowboys front, one of the other things that I hope that they do, because just a quick cool part of Stars history, one of the reasons that the Stars ended up in Dallas, one of the central figures, not from a hockey side, that helped was Roger Staubach. When Norm Green was originally the plan was to move the Minnesota North Stars to LA and Anaheim and be the LA Stars, but the Mighty Ducks movie happened, and then the NHL wanted the expansion money. So when Norm Green was looking at places, Roger Staubach actually helped sell Norm Green on bringing the team to Dallas. And then Roger was in a lot of those meetings with local business people in Dallas to kind of drum up support for the Stars. So I think he was at some of the Cotton Bowl stuff in 2020. And I think he's like 83, 84 years old, and he's still.
Wonder if he'd be the ceremonial puck drop, because they had Troy Aikman for the Cotton Bowl Winter Classic, and that was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. He came out. Troy had the leather jacket on. He had the aviators. He looked like the cool quarterback. I wonder if Staubach would be, maybe something involved, or maybe it'll be Jerry, right? I wouldn't put it past Jerry Jones to be the one to drop the puck.
It's the Dallas Stars. Who do we see on every commercial for the Dallas Stars? It's going to be Emmett.
Oh yeah, it's Emmett the whole.
You think so?
Yeah,
it's going to be Emmett.
Not the playmaker, not
Michael
Michael Irvin.
Or whatever that dude will be on there too.
Irvin.
What I want to see, guys, and I know we have a little bit over a year to plan this, but I want to see this happen. Although it probably won't be with Wayne Gretzky, but Luds, if there isn't an alumni game on the ice at AT&T Stadium, look at this photo that I don't know who you in a group chat
that's where you were going with this.
Drum this up, but Kat, if you would throw that photo, Sean dug this out.
Yeah.
Look at that. Luds, is that up in is that in Edmonton?
Let me tell you, that was the original Heritage Classic game. I believe was the inaugural one. I'm pretty sure. It was like minus 30, and we did an event the night before. Oh, it was awful, and it was brutal. I mean, you don't feel as bad because you're playing in a big game, obviously against these guys that have won all the Stanley Cups and things like that. But I'd said to a bunch of people about this event, and I got one of these pictures signed in here. Actually, CJ's got it now, but it was the one time that, how superstars always want to be on the ice. They want to keep going, and they want to be on. It was the one time none of them wanted to move. They just wanted to. I got more ice time in that game than in my entire career. Larry Robinson, D. LaFleur. They wouldn't. When I was trying to come off the ice, they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me come off the ice, and the reason was it was about 82 degrees on the bench, and you have all these heaters at your feet. It was the warmest place in the country, in that whole province. It was the warmest place. I'd never played so much my entire life. My toes were froze, but it was a super honor to be able to play in an event like that. Then I played in one more that was in Calgary when it wasn't quite as cold, but I don't know how you ever going to top that one. I'm obviously a little biased, but just from the standpoint of the star quality that was in that game from both teams.
Well, think about this. I mean, Vegas Golden Knights alumni guys are probably still playing, right? You'd have to get Marc-Andre Fleury out of retirement.
Vadim Shipachev, now all-time KHL point leader.
Alumni game or something before that, shouldn't there? They could make a team up of all the guys that they traded.
Yes,
that's true. Yes,
all their picks.
The cast-offs, right? So you get Cody Eakin, and you go get Riley Smith. He's still playing this year? So you've got him, but they could dig a few out.
Those guys would want to play. They would want to play against Vegas because they're pissed off from getting moved. So they want to play against them and chop them and break some of those guys' ankles and legs. Yeah.
All right, Sam. So we have an idea now. We have the opponent. We know the date. We know that they're going to really do this up. I would imagine if we're talking jerseys that the Stars have already started designing this because of the process takes a while. They probably knew the opponent. I mean, I think Razor teased it a month ago, right? I think he said something on the Stars pod with Heike about knowing who it was. So the team is probably
before Brad Albert knows.
Yeah, Tyler said he knew as soon as they announced the game, like the next day at practice. I asked Tyler, and he said he couldn't tell us any details because he knew too. So I think they knew right away.
That's why his knee was taken out. That's why his knee was taken out.
Oh, in New York against the Rangers, right? Because he named names.
Gary,
man. Well, it should be fun. Fellas, we do have a show tonight because the Stars and Golden Knights are playing each other for the first time in over a year. Indoors at T-Mobile Arena, where 1 week ago, not even a week ago, we had a big UFC main event. That was a lot of fun. Gaethje versus Pimlet for those UFC crazies. And now we have a hockey game. And I don't think there'll be quite as many punches thrown tonight, but they played twice in Dallas in March to wrap up the regular season series. And Luds, you said we all picked Vegas. I think 3 of the 4 of us picked Vegas to win the Stanley Cup in our preseason picks. It wouldn't be all that surprising if the Golden Knights make it to the conference final. It's going to be a lot of work for the Stars to get through Minnesota and Colorado to get there.
Yeah, I mean, they're a quality opponent. It'll be a good event. And I think a lot of it, how does it all play out at the end of this regular season? And so, yeah, I just want to say I gotta take a look at that contract we signed for this thing. I could have swore we were obligated to do 5 daily shows. I'm pretty sure that's what it says in there, doesn't it?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. We got to take a look at that.
I believe the contract is more of a guideline.
Something in
There's always
whether or not it's Cowboys, or whether it's not Vegas and Dallas is a rival, T-Mobile and AT&T are certainly rivals.
Oh, so you're going to have jerseys of the phone carriers? Is that what we're going to do?
It's the Internet Bowl.
It's the cell phone battle. All right, guys. It's been great. We've got to let Kat go. She was super great to just jump in and fill in for Ryan, but we will be on tonight. We have an 8:30 Central Time pregame show. Sean won't be there, but thanks, Sean, for joining this afternoon. We've got Luds, Sam, Sean.
Well, Sean has the 5 daily show or 3 daily show, whatever it is.
No,
okay,
he's got the 2. He's got the special contract.
Okay.
All right, guys. Big thanks to Kat for producing. Stars and Golden Knights will face
we don't
off
see him
at
for another
Cherry
2 weeks
World.
now.
Probably not. We'll see you soon here on DLLS.